Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jordan if you're new here. Today's video is going to be a review on the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. So you guys, I'm just going to get into it. The Sunrise palette has been a palette that I wanted since I saw the first sneak preview on Trend Mood. I was like, I have to get that palette. It looked so beautiful, just like the tones that are right up my alley, what I want. And I saw the price in the caption. It said $65, and I was like, is this a like error? Did Trend Mood make an error? $65 for a Natasha Denona palette? Like where what? It was crazy. So of course I waited until it launched at Sephora, because if you guys are not aware, I do work at Sephora. So $65 plus my discount, I was going to get that palette. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is what the palette looks like, you guys. I bought it since the launch day. I was one of those crazy clients. I was like, hey, do we have the Natasha Denona palette? They were like, yeah, but we can't sell it. You have to wait until launch day. And I specifically waited until launch day. I walked into the store the day of my shift because I knew I was working that day. Just went right up to the tower, grabbed the palette, went down to the cashier, and I was like, thank you so much. I am going to purchase this palette. So let me show you what the palette looks like. So of course this is the unicorn. It's really nice sleek box, and I kept the box. Yes, I did. I've been using the palette since I bought it because I couldn't wait to do a video. I just had to test it out for you guys. So this is what the actual palette looks like. So the same kind of coloring. It's really pretty. As you can see, my fingerprints, because I've been using it, and it is this plastic component. And then you can of course remove the shadows if you want to depot it, but I'm not going to do that. And then you have a really nice mirror in the palette, and then this is the color story, you guys. It's so pretty. It's just beautiful, warm with a mixture of some cool tones with the purples. This is just everything that I needed in a palette, and yeah, I just had to buy it. So let's get into the description of the palette. So again, the palette does retail for $65. It is 19.25 grams of product, so it is smaller than Natasha Denona's typical eyeshadow palettes, but I think this is a really good size for an eyeshadow palette because you're not really going to go through all of those eyeshadows that she normally has in her larger palettes. So I think this is really good for people who collect and just need, you know, an everyday eyeshadow palette. So on Sephora's website, it's described as a palette inspired by the warm glow of the morning sunrise, with sunny yellows, crimson corals, earthy browns, and powerful pinks, all made to melt together in perfect harmony. I agree. So this palette is free of parabens, and it's also cruelty-free. Natasha Denona is cruelty-free. So let's just go into some swatches, because I know you guys probably want to see what this looks like on deeper skin. So this first shade is Poppy. It is described as a crimson bronze metallic. The next shade is Citrine. It is described as a warm yellow matte. The next shade is Flock. It is described as a burnt warm crimson metallic. Ooh, that's so pretty. The next shade is, I'm gonna do one more swatch, Awakening. Awakening is described as a lavender nude duochrome. And the last shade in that row is Laurel. I'm using my pinky. That is Laurel. And Laurel is described as a peachy champagne metallic. So that is the first row. The first shade in the second row is Aster. Aster is described as a violet mauve duochrome. Next we have Glory, which is a fuchsia matte. Let's do another coat. Glory. There we go. That one blends really nicely actually for purple. Like, it blends very good. This shade is Azalea. It's actually what I have on my lid. That is a pink copper duochrome. Next we have Morgan. Morgan is described as a peachy coral creamy matte. And then last we have, I think that's Agate. Agate is described as a champagne apricot metallic. So this is our last row. The first color is Clove. Clove is described as a dark maroon creamy matte. Next I have Carmelian. I believe it's Carmelian. Carmelian is a burnt light orange creamy matte. That was one swatch. Yeah, it's Carmelian. Next we have Jasper. Jasper is described as a bright terracotta creamy matte. Next we have Morning. Morning is described as a light apricot creamy matte. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade Dayspring. And then Dayspring is described as a nude bronze metallic. So those swatches were pretty good, 4 swatches. All those swatches don't really tell us anything, but as you can see, the shades were pretty pigmented and very creamy. But let's get into the demo so you can see how I did this eye makeup. So as you can see, I'm starting off with the eyeshadow base. This one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It has this white tint to it that can really grip onto your color. The first shade that I'm going on with is Jasper. This is that burnt orange. I'm using a number 38 brush from Sephora collection, and I'm placing that color on my outer eye and blending it into my crease, building it up as I see fit. The next color I'm going to go in with is Carnelian. That is going to go into my inner corner and blend up into my crease as well, just to give a little bit of color and dimension into the inner corner of my eye. With a flat shadow, I am going to place Azalea, and I did lightly mist the brush to get this to be as opaque as I wanted it. I'm going to go ahead and blend the edges with Carnelian so we can get a little bit of that orangey mustard color on the outer edge of Azalea. I did go ahead and add some eyeshadow on my bottom lash line. I used Jasper. Now I'm going to go in with Dayspring and lightly add that to the crease of my eye just to give a little bit more brightness. I'm going to go in with Agate as a inner corner highlight. And then I'm going to go back in with Carnelian and just blend the bottom lash line and the outer edges of my eye so that everything is blended. So guys, I went on and added mascara, liner, and lashes off camera, and this is the look. So I'm sure you can tell that I absolutely love this palette and that I have been obsessed with it ever since I got it. I love it. I think it's so good. It blends so well. I've done numerous looks with this palette. I've used these colors. Oh my gosh, I love this color right here, Flock. This looks so pretty on dark skin, and I'm just thoroughly impressed with this palette. This is actually my first Natasha Denona palette that I own myself. I've used her palettes on clients in the store, and I actually really like them. Especially that Biba palette. That palette is lit. But this is the one that I just had to pick up for myself. And I just hope that she keeps on making palettes these size, because I think $65 for this quality of eyeshadow is an amazing price. I know it's still a lot of money, but the eyeshadow blends very nicely, and it's similar price to Huda. Her eyeshadow palettes are $65, and I think that these blend a little bit better in my opinion. And I would definitely recommend it. If you were looking to get the Sunrise palette and you got some coin to spend, just do it. You will not regret it. I don't think you're gonna regret spending your money on that palette. Natasha Denona did a really good job on it. So you guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. Everything will be linked down in the description box down below. I will leave my makeup details down for you guys. If you have not, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. It helps your girl out. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.